PIOC is very easy. The next topic is emetic. Emetic, who carries out emesis. Now, emesis is nothing but vomiting. The agents which cause forced ejection of content of stomach having value in poisoning case are known as emetics. They are forcing the content of stomach to get out, right? That's why they are known as emetics. Now, example of emetics which you are going to learn is sodium potassium tartrate and copper sulfate. If you are unable to remember every category's compound, you can make short keys like I have made. सोडी को इमरजेंसी है. Now you can remember from sodi sodium potassium tartrate, को से copper sulfate and emergency emetics. Okay. In Gujarati you can say that આ એવા કમ્પાઉન્ડ છે જે વોમિટિંગ માટે કે વોમિટિંગ કરાવડાવવા માટે રિસ્પોન્સિબલ છે. તો ઘણીવાર આપણે પોઈઝનસ સબસ્ટન્સ પેટમાં ભૂલથી આપણે ખાઈ ગયા હોય, નાના બાળકો ખાઈ ગયા હોય કે તમને અમુક વાર તમને ફૂડ પોઈઝનિંગ થઈ જતું હોય છે. તો એ પોઈઝનિંગ ઇફેક્ટથી રિલીવ કરવા માટે તમને ડૉક્ટર્સ આ બધા ઇમેટિક્સ આપતા હોય છે, જેથી કરીને જે સ્ટમક કન્ટેન્ટ છે એ બાય મીન્સ ઓફ વોમિટિંગ બહાર નીકળી જાય. હવે એવા બે કમ્પાઉન્ડ છે. જનરલી ઇન કેસ ઓફ PIOC વોટ યુ હેવ ટુ ડુ ઇઝ યુ હેવ ટુ રિમેમ્બર properties and medicinal use of various inorganic compound, and the star marked compound, their assay is very important. Here in case of emetics, copper sulfate's assay is important. Sodium potassium tartrate. Now see sodium, here molecular formula sodium potassium tartrate here for tartrate C4H4O6 446 C4H4O6 into 4H2O. Now for copper sulfate which is also known as blue vitriol. If in exam they will ask write down preparation or write down properties and medicinal use of blue vitriol, then you should not get confused. As copper sulfate is only having blue color, you should write about copper sulfate only. Now molecular weight. Sodium potassium tartrate's molecular weight is 282.2 and copper sulfate is 159.6. Now hydrated copper sulfate, this is anhydrous. There is no molecule of water attached over here, and hydrated copper sulfate is having molecular weight 249.7. Now standards, almost similar standards in case of sodium potassium tartrate, not less than 98%, not more than 101%. Not more than limits are same for both of the compound. Here in copper sulfate, not less than 99%. Now preparation. This is the formula of potassium tartrate. This whole equation CHCHOH OH COOH, this stands for tartrate, and this is potassium. So it is potassium tartrate is reacting with sodium carbonate and water, and after boiling allow the solution to stand at 60 degrees centigrade. pH 7 should be maintained. After filtration and evaporation, it is forming sodium potassium tartrate. Here the H is replaced by sodium into 4H2O, sodium potassium tartrate plus CO2 evolved and water molecule relieved. In case of preparation of copper sulfate, we are taking rusting copper powder plus sulfide ore of sulfide. Then heat this in furnace in presence of air. You will get mixture of copper sulfate and copper oxide. Then treat this with dilute H2SO4. You will get pure copper sulfate. What again? Rusting copper, copper powder, sulfide ore, heating it in furnace, we will get mixture of copper sulfate and copper oxide. Treat it with dilute H2SO4, you will get pure form of copper sulfate. Now what are the properties? Sodium potassium tartrate is crystalline powder which is soluble in water and insoluble in alcohol. You have performed this copper sulfate test in laboratory also, so you must remember this. Blue crystalline, this is blue crystalline powder. Copper sulfate is blue crystalline powder which is soluble in water. Now what are the use? The compound which falls in category, its main use is this, that is uh, sodium potassium tartrate is mainly used for emesis. So it is acting as emetic. After that it is a food additive and osmotic laxative which helps in constipation. Now this copper sulfate is also used in anemia to cure deficiency of copper. Then it is also used as astringent and emetics. The main use of this both compound is emetic. As I have told that copper sulfate is star marked compound, so you have to remember its assay also. Assay are generally carrying out for purification, for testing purity as well as concentration of compound in particular formulation. Now assay procedure of copper sulfate, in that what you have to do is you have to take 0.125 gram of copper sulfate. It should be dissolved in 50 ml of water. You should add 2 ml of H2SO4, add 3 gram of potassium iodide, use indicator 1 ml of starch and titrate it against 0.1 molar sodium thiosulfate. See, copper sulfate falls in emetics category. Emetics compound is also having other compound, that is sodium potassium tartrate. From sodium potassium you can also remember the titrant, that is sodium thiosulfate. Copper sulfate is titrated against sodium thiosulfate. This is the factor for calculating the purity and concentration. Thank you.